Today's lecture 26 of Basic Electronics is the SR flip-flop. Welcome to our channel Class Fly Community. So today we will be dealing with the SR flip-flop, but before that we should know what flip-flop is. We know that a sequential circuit is a circuit which not only depends on its present input but also depends on its past inputs, right? So in simple words, we can define sequential circuit as these circuits not only depend on the present value of its input signal but also on the sequence of the past input, and flip-flop is the storage element in the clock sequential circuit. The sequential circuit has a storage element, and that storage element is the flip-flop. So see, SR flip-flop, from the name you can suggest that S and R will stand for something. So S stands for set and R stands for reset. Okay, so see, this is the diagram of the SR flip-flop. Now see, this block is our SR latch, and we will discuss the SR latch now. Before that, we should know latch is a basic 1-bit storage element. It can store only 1 bit. And see, in SR flip-flop there are 3 inputs. One is set, that is the S, which are denoted here. R is the reset, and one is the clock, which is short circuited with both the NAND gates. So now let's move on to the SR latch to know what basically SR flip-flop is. Now see, this is the SR latch. The block diagram which was done, I have maximized it and made the SR latch here. We know that the NAND gate truth table, that NAND is the combination of the NOT gate plus the AND gate, right? AND gate means multiplication, so we know that if any of the variable will be 0, then we will get a 0 in the output, right? But as it is NAND, whenever there will be 1 0, we will get a 1 in our output. Okay, so for 0, both the variables are 0, so we will get the output as 1. When one variable is 0, another is 1, we will get 1. When similarly, when the first variable value is 1, the other variable value is 0, we will get 1. And if both the variable are only 1, then only we will get 0. Now see, there are 5 cases in this SR latch. The first case is if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Okay, so if my S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, we know that 0, 1 give us 1, right? So my output will be 1, and this output will come to this, and 1 and 1 we get 0. So in the Q bar we will get 0. So what would be our output then? When S is a 0 and R is 1, we know that 0, 1 output is 1, and this 1 now comes to this NAND gate, which is with the reset part. So 1 plus 1.1 we get 0. So the output is 1 0. Now we will change the value of this S to 1. So we know that 1 and 1 is 0, right? But this we will not change the output, we only change the reset value. So this 0 will go here. So 0 1 is 1, and we know that 1 1 is 0. So when S value is 1 and R value is 1, we are getting the same output. That is whatever has been we got in for the input. For 0 1, that is the output is 1 0, and for 1 1 we will also get the same. So this state we will say it as memory state. Okay, now if I do S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, then I know that 1 0 is, so Q bar will be 1 and this 1 will go from here, so 1 1 is 0. Okay, Q bar will be R 1. But if I change this R to 1, so this So this one will go to here. So 1 1 is 0, and when this 0 comes here, we get 0 1 as 1. So when our inputs are 1 and 0, we get the output as 0 and 1. Right? Here we have taken 0 1. So as here it is 0, so we will write its output to here, that is 1. And as here it was 1 and 0, so here the output will be returned to the Q bar. That's why it is 1 here. Now see, if as I put 1 1, I get the similar output as I got for the input 1 0. So this state again become my memory state. Now see, if I put the value for S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, we know that whenever it's 0 0, we get 1. So we will get 1 for this one also and 1 for this one also. So we can't have the same output for both Q and the Q bar. So this state we will say as invalid state. So now we will make up another table which will give me a preview of this. So see, I have written two input, that is S and R. So there is two variables. So first column will be 2 zeros, 2 ones, and respectively 1 0 1 1. We know that 0 0 can't be there because both the values are 1 1. So it will be the invalid state. So I wrote invalid. For 0 1, I got 1 0. So I wrote 1 0, and for 1 0 I got 0 1. So I wrote 0 1. And for 1 1 we get the same value as for 1 0 as well as for the 0 1's output. So this state will be the memory state. So we completed the SR latch, and this is the truth table of the SR latch. Now see, this part was our SR latch. When we join two more NAND gates, we make a SR flip-flop. Now we will deal with the SR flip-flop truth table, characteristic table, and the excitation table. So let's move on. See, this was the truth table for my SR latch, right? So if my clock is 0 and there is no input, so we will get the previous memory for the output of the flip-flop. When I high the clock, that is 1 for the clock, and S and R is 0, so we know that for 0 0 we will get 1 1, right? But when we do 1 1 for the latch, we get memory. So our output for 0 0 for the SR flip-flop will be memory. Now if I do the S0 and 1 here, what I get? I will get 1 and 0, right? I will get 1 and 0, and for the SR latch, 1 and 0 we get as 0 and 1. So my output will be 0 and 1. When I do this one 0 and this one 1, I get 0 1 when it passed from here, right? Now if I see the SR latch truth table, I get 1 0. So my output will be 1 0. Now if I put both of them as 1, I get 0 and 0, right? So when I see the SR latch truth table, I say it is invalid. So my output for the SR flip-flop will be invalid. Okay. Now see, this is the block diagram of the SR flip-flop. This is the S set. This is our clock. That means this is positively triggered, that it will change from 0 to 1 and not from 1 to 0. And this is the R input, that is the reset, and these two are the output, this Q and the Q bar. Now we will move on to our characteristic table. See, this is my characteristic table. Characteristic table will give the output of the next state, that is the QN bar, you can also say, or you can say Q bar also. If you take Q for the input, you will write Q bar. So this will be my Q bar state. We will get the output for the Q bar. So as there are three variables, so our first column will be 4 zeros, 4 ones, and respectively the two columns 2 zeros, 2 1. The third column will be 1 0 1 1. Now I will see when I give 0 0. Let's first make the table for the SR flip-flop here. Okay, so 0 1 1 1 1, right? So don't care condition, memory 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. This is the invalid state, right? Now this 0 1 means we will get 0 1 and 1 0 we will get 1 0, right? So now if I put 0 0 in my SR flip-flop, I will get what? Memory. So what is my memory here? It is 0, so I will write 0 here. When for 0 1 SR flip, my output was 0 1, so I will get 0. And for 1 0, when I put, I get 1 0, so my will be 1. Basically for the characteristic table, we will see the output for the Q. Okay, now for 1 1, as it is invalid, we will put a cross. When I do again 0 0, when Q is 1, I will get the memory, right? So here my memory is 1, so this will be 1. When I put 0 1, I can see 0, so I will put 0. And when it is 1 0, I can see 1, so I will put 1. And for 1 1, as it is invalid, I will put cross. So for the K map, what will be? There will be this K map, right? 3 variable K map. So I will write QN SR. This will be 0 1. This will be 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1, right? So when I put 1 here, cross will be here because it was 0 1 jump 2 back 3 4 5 jump 6 back 7. So my cross is here because see, this is my 0, this is my 1, this is my 2. So 2 is here, 1, 3 is at the cross, again 4 will be 1, and 5 is 0, so nothing, 6 is 1, and 7 is a cross. So I will make a grouping of this and a grouping of this. So for my first grouping, as my QN is changing 0 to 1, so it will not be there. This is 1 0, so that means R is changing from 1 to 0. So as S is not changing, so we will take S for this grouping. And for this grouping, we can see that the QN is not changing, so we will take QN, and R is not changing, it is 0 and 0, so I will take R bar because 0 is the complemented form. Now I will do my excitation table. Now see, excitation table will have two inputs, that is our QN and QN bar. So first column will be 2 zeros, 2 1, and respectively for QN bar. And the excitation table depends on the characteristic table. So when it is 0 and for the QN and QN bar also 0. So 0 and 0 we get 0 and 0, as well as here I get 0 and 0. So my S is not changing, so I will write 0 for S, but my R is changing, so I will write cross for the R. Now when my QN is 0 and 1 is Q bar, I get 1 for the S and R for the 0. Now when my QN is 1 and QN bar is 0, that means this state 1 and 0, I get 0 1, so I write 0 1. When it is 1, this one also 1, and when it is 1 and this one also 1, I can see that the S is changing, so I will write cross, but my R is not changing, so I will write 0. So this is the excitation table, and you can similarly make the K-map for the S and R. I have already made it. You can see it and can do it yourself. So 3 table, that is the truth table, characteristic table, and the excitation table, are the most important parts of the SR flip-flop, and I hope you all understood. Till then, be happy and have a great day. Now is the quote time. I like criticism. It makes you strong. I hope all of you understood today's lecture, and thank you for watching.
Wow, that's impressive! You have completed a magic today. For more videos, subscribe. Join our Facebook group and Instagram page for group discussion and live Magus videos for exam preparation in an hour. We start at Classfly community for students to learn from a friend in a simple way and support them in their own languages. If you are willing to be that one friend who saves us at the exam night preparation, then please join us by visiting classfly.in.